What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today we are going over Terapagos EX deck list, and the reason I made this list was because a buddy of mine who's just getting into the game said, hey, I want to try and get a semi-competitive deck that'll be able to kind of ease into the game, learn its functions, and I've been buying a bunch of Stellar Crown packs. So I want to try and make a deck with what I have, and I said, okay, I'll do my best. So I made a deck out of primarily Stellar Crown cards. Between buying this and between buying Stellar Crown packs and a trainer's toolkit, you can just about make this entire deck list. So super happy with how it turned out and how easy it could be to make. You only have to order a few cards outside of depending on what you pull and all that, but super simple list, and let's hop right into it. So the main attacker of the deck is going to be your Terapagos EX. And with this list, we are bouncing back and forth from Unified Beatdown and Crown Opal, depending on our matchup. So Unified Beatdown does 30 damage for each of your benched Pokemon, and you can't use it on your second turn if you win, or on your first turn if you went second. So you can't use it for a donk, unfortunately, but a super powerful attack otherwise. And then Crown Opal deals 180, but it makes your Terapagos immune to attacks from basic non-normal Pokemon. So particularly looking at like Raging Bolt decks, looking at decks like Gardevoir, Miraidon, all these basic attacking decks, Terapagos is going to be able to match up against those just fine, and just Crown Opal its way to the win without them being able to do a thing. And it's also a very important thing about this card is its Terra typing in this deck, which we'll get into as we go through the list. One of the support Pokemon, we have one copy of Latias EX in here, just to give our basic Pokemon free retreat. If we get a Bouffalant dragged to the active and we don't want it there, if we get a Joltik up there and we kind of want to pull him out, he somehow survived the turn, or if we got a Terapagos that's running low on health, just whatever the case is, Latias is going to give them free retreat. So nice to have in here, just a pretty decent support card all around. You've seen it in a lot of decks lately. For more support, we have a 3/3 of Noctowl and Hoothoot. With Jewel Seeker ability, which is once during your turn, when you evolve this Pokemon from your hand, and you have a Terra Pokemon in play, again, that Terapagos coming in use, you can search your deck for 2 trainer cards. This is any trainer cards. This is your stadiums, this is your supporters, items, whatever you need, you can get 2 of them. So absolutely incredible ability here. The only thing is you need that Terapagos in play. Which we more times than not have no issue doing with this deck. So super powerful card to have in here, and because of Area 0, we don't have to worry about it cluttering up our bench space. We can typically get that going right away and don't have to worry about it. Moving on, we have 3 copies of Fan Rotom, which 3 is pretty excessive because we use it for its Fan Call ability, which is once during your first turn and your first turn only, you can search your deck for 3 normal Pokemon with 100 HP or less and put them into your hand. You can't use more than 1 Fan Call. That's why 3, I'm like, it's kind of heavy. But I think it works out just fine because with those 3, if we're not using them for the Fan Call ability, then we can use them to have another benched Pokemon, so our Unified Beatdown can really pound away a little bit more. So this is going to be finding our Hoothoots and Noctowls for setup for next turn, or it's going to be finding our Bouffalants if we had a decent enough setup that we don't need to grab those, and we already have them in hand or something like that. That we could get our Bouffalants out and just take that little bit less damage. Speaking of which, Bouffalant, we do play 2 copies of them for their Curly Wall ability, which is when you have at least 2 Bouffalant in play, all of your basic normal Pokemon take 60 less damage. So this is really nice. This is giving our Terapagos effectively 290 HP when people are trying to go for the one hit KOs. Otherwise, it's giving them even more because it happens multiple times that they take 60 less damage. This is also going to help out our Bloodmoon Ursaluna and our Fan Rotoms just to be a little tankier. So really nice to have in here, as well as it's adding cards to our bench and letting that Unified Beatdown hit for even more. Moving on, we have 1 copy of Joltik in here. This is for its Jolting Charge, which is kind of crazy. You get to search your deck for 2 basic grass and 2 basic electric and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So really incredible energy acceleration, just throwing 4 on the board right away there. This is charging up at least 2 Terapagos at a time, and just absolutely incredible card to have in here. And due to his 30 HP, we just expect him to get knocked out. But by some miracle that he survives, we can just retreat him for the one that he used for that jolting charge. So really nice to have in here, especially for that Energy Excel. And we do have one copy of Bloodmoon Ursaluna in here for season skill. You know, he costs one less for each prize card your opponent's taken. Huge backup attacker, especially because he's a normal basic. So Bouffalant is going to charge him up a little bit more. Hitting for 240 can be really healthy and really helpful in the late game. So he's our end game backup attacker in case our Terapagos can't get the job done. And that's it for Pokemon. So moving on to our trainers. We have 4 copies Ultra Ball, finding our Noctowls when we need them, and finding those Terapagos, because as you've already seen, those Terra Pokemon need to be in play, so we got to get those Terapagos going. So we got 4 copies Ultra Ball in here. We got 1 copy Switch. This is in case something gets dragged to the active that we don't want there, especially if we don't have Latias in play, or if we do have Latias in play and that Noctowl is in there. We can switch them out if our opponent's trying to stall us. You know, we just have this as an option. So really nice to have in here. 2 copies Earthen Vessel, just finding the energy when we need it. Nothing other than that, really. 3 copies of Area 0 Underdepths. This is to get that bench space flying up, so not only will our Noctowls not be hurting us too much by blocking up our bench, but we're also going to be able to deal significantly much more damage with Area 0, being able to deal 90 more damage because we'll have 3 more on the bench. So really nice to have in here. 1 copy Briar. When your opponent only has 2 prize cards left, attacks used by your Terra Pokemon, if they get the knockout, you take 1 more prize. So a very situational card, but also a very powerful one. So I'm really happy with how this has been in the deck. I've only used it a couple of times, but the times that I have used it, it's been super useful. So I'm very happy with having this in here. 1 copy Professor's Research, just a quick hand reset. You know, you don't like what you got, or you only have a few cards in hand. Lets you just keep things moving, keep the train rolling, all that jazz. 3 copies Buddy-Buddy Poffin. This is going to be finding your Hoothoots for setup. This is going to be finding your Joltik if you need to, but more times than not, we're not really finding him. And this is going to find your Fan Rotoms on turn 1, so you can get that setup going real quickly. So, huge card in here. 3 copies Crispin, getting that energy acceleration. You search your deck for 2 of different kinds, put 1 onto one of your Pokemon and 1 in your hand. So you can use this to put 1 onto a Terapagos, get another type in your hand, attach for turn, and then Sparkling Crystal, bam, you got that Crown Opal right away. Or you can just use it for just this 1 card and attaching for turn. You got your Unified Beatdown going right there. So really nice card to have in here. It lets us get attacking really quickly. 1 copy Counter Catcher, you know, hanging out behind. You need either a knockout on something strong of their support Pokemon, etc., etc. Counter Catcher is going to get that for you. Moving on, we do have 4 copies of Glass Trumpet. This only works if you have a Terra Pokemon in play. So another reason why that Terra typing on your Terapagos is so important. You get to choose 2 of your benched normal Pokemon and attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of them. So if we get some energy in the discard, which more times than not will be happening, we can charge up some of our bench Terapagos. So if and when our active gets knocked out, we can just throw up another one and be ready to go right away. Really nice card to have in here. 2 copies Night Stretcher. Well, when our Terapagos get knocked out, there's no sense in charging up a dead Terapagos, so we bring it back to our hand, play it to the bench, and then we can Glass Trumpet stuff onto it. So taking it from the active, getting a knockout, they unfortunately get 2 prize cards, but we can bounce back to that right away and get things going. So it just finds us what we need when we need. Also, if we need to discard something, like a Bloodmoon Ursaluna or a Noctowl, and we want it back, or if they knock out one of our Bouffalants, lets us get it back right away. So nice card to have in here. Colress Tenacity. This is going to be searching for our Area 0 Underdepths, and an energy card. The energy part is just kind of like a little cherry on top. It's not super important. I don't think anyone really uses this for an energy search. It's just kind of a little extra, but we're really using it to find our Area 0s. Our ace spec of choice is going to be the Sparkling Crystal, which when attached to a Terra Pokemon, attacks cost 1 less energy, and that energy can be of any color. So we already went over how combining that with Crispin, you can get, and if you went second, you can get a turn 2 Crown Opal. So super strong with this deck. Also, you can just get your unified beatdown right away by attaching and then attaching for turn, but more times than not, you're going to be able to just attach for turn twice in a row. So it's really in here for when we need to use that Crown Opal in those matchups. Moving on, we do have 4 copies of Nest Ball. Again, just finding what we need when we need. We need Terapagos in play. We don't necessarily need Latias in every situation, but a lot of times we do. This is also finding our Fan Rotoms on turn 1, finding our Hoothoots in case we got Noctowls in hand, etc, etc. So pairing this with your Buddy Poffins and your Ultra Balls, there's almost no way that you're unable to get something that you need off your turn 1, off your starting hand. So really nice to have that much diversity, that many choices. We got 2 copies of Arven. The only tool in the deck is the one Sparkling Crystal, and then the item search is just useful, you know. There's not much point where, oh, I need this exact item for this exact thing, you know. It could happen here and there when you need a certain Pokemon, grab an Ultra Ball. You need to boss something, but you don't have boss in hand, you can grab the counter catcher, etc, etc. Item search is just really powerful, and then being able to grab our Sparkling Crystal is also really nice. Then we got the 1 copy Boss's Orders, you know, just a casual staple card, just about in every deck, if not all of them. 1 copy just for if and when we need it, not too imperative. And then we got a 3/3/3 of Water, Electric, and Water, Electric, and Grass energy, so we can get that Crown Opal going for hopefully locking down and stalling out some poor matchups that we got. And yeah, that's the deck list. Personally, I've had a lot of fun with this, and it is super easy to make. So if you're just trying to start to get into the game, or you haven't really tried a Terapagos list, instead of trying to delve in and figure out the mechanics of a Terapagos cloth or something, you can just start out raw with Terapagos EX. And yeah, let's hop into a playtest, and I can show you what this deck is capable of. Alright, so we're jumping into our playtest here with our Terapagos EX deck list. This deck can really go either or. Some matchups we want to go first, some matchups we want to go second. Going second is typically when you're going to be looking for Crispin and your Sparkling Crystal, so you can immediately get your Crown Opal. But if it's against an evolution deck, that's really not necessary. So since we are going first, that is pretty nice. Again, because we're going to be able to get our Hootoots evolved faster. Ultra Ball. We're going to go Bouffalant into the active, because if it gets knocked out, we can Night Stretcher for it. And then with our Hoothoot on the bench there, we'll be able to Ultra Ball for a Noctowl. Again, we need Terra stuff in play. Otherwise, that Noctowl will not work. So we're just going to grab the Terapagos right away. Slide an energy on there for getting things going. And pass. So not much on a first turn. Pretty uneventful. But surprisingly don't have a terrible setup, because we're going to be able to use our Ultra Ball to get Noctowl, and since we have a Terra in play, that's searching for 2 trainers, which, I mean, it's such a great ability. Right now our opponent only has Radiant Charizard out, so they're probably playing Arcanine or Char. Pretty much, we should be able to tell off this Ultra Ball. They're playing pretty high rarity. So, Rotom V. Alright, so he does not have much. He's taking his turn 2 off of a Rotom. 3 cards in hand, he's gonna have 6. Super Rod, 1 energy. Okay, I get the feeling this is going to be Charizard, because a lot of Charizard's lists play very little energy. So super riding that 1 back. We do lose our setup, and since it's no longer our first turn, we can't Fan Rotom. So part of me wishes that I had Nest Balled for Fan Rotom instead, which is what I would do in most situations. But I was just a little too comfortable with that Noctowl, so I'd say a misplay on my part. Yep, because now we won't be able to get it. Not the end of the world though. Grab those guys. Yeah, see, now we're actually in a pretty difficult spot. And our Latias is prized, so we are going to have to try and find... Yeah, we have one grass prize, and we have our... Okay. In there. So, pretty awful start, I'm not even gonna lie. I was just talking to myself. I should have gone for Fan Rotom off that first Nest Ball for further setup. But hopefully we can bounce back. Yeah, it is going to be Charizard. You can tell that off the Charmander. So unfortunately we aren't going to be able to use Crown Opal to just lock him down. We do have to rely on our Unified Beatdown. Alright, he's probably got Charizard in hand, knowing our luck. Yep, Rare Candy it out. Oh, Pidgey. And then he'll grab what he needs. I was going to say that that retreat cost is probably going to be the most hurtful thing for him. So, since I didn't get the Fan Rotom off turn 1, we do have to kind of wait until we draw something. So, major mistake on my part, but it is what it is. And that Iona really hurt us. There it is. Okay. Gonna Ultra Ball, dumping Vessel. Vessel Hoothoot. Grab ourselves that Noctowl. See, unfortunately, we do have to waste one of those trainer cards on Switch. Guess I'd like to use Jewel Seeker. Or, well, we honestly could go for the Professor's Research. Yeah, I think we are gonna go for the research here. Yeah. Switch into our Terapagos. We don't have to worry about any of their basics, so but we don't really want to waste the energy either. So we'll just stick one on for why not. Okay. Not terrible at all. Jewel Seeker. Thinking Buddy-Buddy Poffin Area 0 might be the play here. So what is it, 30, 60, 90, 120 right now. That'll give us knockout. He's gonna have Charizard this next turn. I think I'm actually gonna get the Nest Ball because then we can get our second Bouffalant down and tank a little bit more. Because my brain doesn't want to do the math, I'm not even gonna lie. Getting that second Bouffalant down is going to give our Terapagos enough health to not die right away, thankfully. Yeah. Part of me wants to Stretcher for that Noctowl. The other part of me thinks that it'll be just fine. We'll just do that one for gits and shiggles. Okay, one prize. It is a Noctowl, so we didn't know that was gonna happen. We probably could have gone for the Night Stretcher onto Hoothoot, but I mean, like I said, we could not have seen that coming. Totally fine. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he probably quick searched for the rare candy last turn and he's quick searching for the Charizard this turn. Here it comes. Unless he has some other route to get there, I don't even know. Yeah, Arven for either the rare candy or the Ultra Ball. I mean, these Charizard lists, yeah. These Charizard lists are just super simple. If he plays Devo, that helps us so much because then we can use our Noctowls again. So he'd be stupid to Devo. And he evolves on the bench? That's interesting. Why would he evolve on the bench? How odd. He attaches for turn instead of just using the third from... What the devil? Wouldn't... Well, that was interesting. You can respond? We can do 180 right now. I kind of don't really know what to do in I think we are gonna Stretcher for the Hoothoot. That way we will be able to Noctowl next turn. Unfortunately not this turn. 23 cards in deck. I think we're just... Yeah, unfortunately we don't really have much draw here, so we'll just take the knockout. There's our Latias. So right now, this Charizard's dealing what? I think he's dealing 180 right now because of our Bouffalants. Putting in work. He's trying to think around that. Boss's orders, he's probably taking out a Bouffalant, right? No, he's taking out a Noctowl. Ooh, wrong decision. Wahahaha. Yeah, he should have taken out a Bouffalant there. Knocking out Noctowl does not help him at all. I think he's realizing that. What do we got here? Yeah, so yeah, 2 of your benched. Part of me would like to start charging up another Terapagos, and the other part of me wants to get our Latias down. But he doesn't give our Noctowl free retreat at all. We are going to be able to Colress for our energy so we can retreat him. That'll be no problem. We have our Trumpets to charge up our Terapagos. Countercatcher back to the Terapagos. So he just wasted a boss there. Okay. So yeah, we do want to get Terapagos this turn. We'll grab it with that. Yes, I'd like to use Jewel Seeker. I think it's kind of funny how they like ask. We're gonna grab the Nest Ball for him. And then we have Trumpet. How many trumpets do we have? We got 3 trumpets in hand, so that's more than enough. We got 1 energy and discard. We do not have a vessel. Vessel's prized. So we can get the 1 energy there. We'll be able to Sparkling Crystal, so I don't think it's too imperative that we grab anything else. We'll grab the Stretcher in case he realizes the errors of his ways and takes out a Bouffalant. Grab that. Trumpet. Stick an energy on there. We still have Supporter. So we can deal 240 right now. We're going to hold off on the Sparkling Crystal because we don't want him to know that we have it, especially if he has a Lost Vacuum in hand. I don't even know what really helps us off the Arven here. So I think we're going to Colress to thin our deck and also get energy. And then we can probably... No, we won't play the energy. Because if he brings something up to stall, then we'll be able to play it for that, for the retreat cost, if he brings up a Noctowl to stall. But he's probably just going to go for the knockout here. and then we'll be able to respond with our own knockout. Unless he like Turos this up or something, but that would put himself behind. He is setting up for the next Charizard. He probably has it in hand, and he's just going to manually evolve next turn. Or he's finding it right now. One thing that I was toying around with the idea of is Iono. This deck does not play any Ionos. So not really any disruption, but I think it doesn't really need it. Like, it kind of just works out where this deck is strong enough and really simple enough that even when our opponent is quick searching every turn and grabbing all thises and that's, that it really just, in the end, it's futile, I'd say. So I like having the Professor's Research in here as a hand reset versus an Iono for that smaller hand reset as well as disruption, personally. I mean, you can kind of take a look at the board state and realize that even though I made... Okay, so Sparkling Crystal and Energy is gone, unfortunately. But as long as we can get one way of energy... Crispin, there it is, bam. So we can use Terapagos again. We'll be able to Nest Ball for either another Terapagos or a... whatchamacallit, Bloodmoon Ursaluna, depending on how we feel, looking at his state, looking at ours. See what we top deck here. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and Crispin. Got those. That is the rest of our energy. And since we are using the Unified Beatdown in this matchup, it doesn't matter. The Crown Opal doesn't matter. Just because of our lack of energy, I think we are grabbing Bloodmoon off of this. Oh, looks like one of our Terapagos is prized anyway. And we're gonna... yeah, right? Maybe. Yeah, we'll attach return. And then there's no point in doing that. There's nothing that we can grab to help us. So we're just going to Unified Beatdown for knockout. There's 0. His untriggers, so he's got to discard some stuff. Does he have to discard? Yes, because he has to discard and then promote, not vice versa. We do get energy off of our prizes, so... yeah, he burns the mana fee. There's no point in having that for this matchup. So he is gonna bring out that not Terapagos, that Charizard here. I think he takes knockout, right? We have 4 taken, so that's what, 60, 120 minus the 60. So it's just plus 60 is 240. Yeah, so he does have his knockout here. See what he pulls out. My guess is he's probably quick searching for Briar, and then he's gonna boss up Joltik or something stupid like that for the win. So yeah, we even with the slow setup, because I messed up turn 1 and didn't Fan Rotom, it should be fine. What are you Arven for? Switch and Max Belt? Okay. I mean, he had knockout anyway, I think. He's gonna deal 280 here now. 290. Okay, so I did my math wrong. So I think we just lose then. Yeah, I think we just lose. Right? Yeah, because he has enough to knock out Bloodmoon. Boss. Yeah, what we would need to happen is... yeah, we can't Brian. Oh wait, no. Ha! Silly me. We win. Bye-bye. So, yeah, even with my own misplays and all of that, it's just a super simple deck. Gets the job done. There's our last Terapagos and our last energy. Doesn't need a lot to work with. Yeah, 1000 damage. Beautiful, beautiful. Super simple deck. Very easy to build. IRL if you're looking to do that. And just a great introductory. It's going to be legal next year. There's no F-Mark cards in here. And yeah, so like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what kind of decks you guys want to see. I currently am working on a Flygon control deck that was requested. So just, yeah, throw at me any ideas you guys got. And I'll do my best to make it work. And hopefully get those videos out as soon as possible. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. And yeah, thanks for watching.